G'day guys, welcome to another episode of Garage Built. Fred here. Hope you guys have all had a great week. We've had a massive week down here in the Garage Built custom shop. So yeah, I hope everyone's happy and healthy. One thing I do want to touch base on first is thank you so much to everyone for their support and encouragement for myself and Michael, who's been with me from the start, as it turns out. Thank you everyone. We've had plenty of messages in their comments on the videos and just personal messages. It's just fantastic. We love what we're doing and everyone's so supportive and so happy for us. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to everyone that's subscribed, and thank you to everyone that's just watching our videos. I do want to say thank you to Michael from Dominator Motorsports. He is again sponsoring this episode. If anyone watched the last video, you would have seen he's hooked us up with a whole bunch of performance parts for the Barra engine, which is super awesome. We're super stoked to build this engine and get it in the car. Check out the link in the description down below. Check out Dominator Motorsports for all your Barra parts and just any performance part for that matter. Thank you to Dominator for supporting us and sponsoring this episode. Next on the list before we start building our engine is right behind Michael, and I'm very excited about it. I did do a big road trip during the week, and we do have our next project car for the channel and for Garage Built and Garage Built Customs. We're not going to reveal what it is yet. Please stay tuned. We will be in the near future. We will, just before we finish the VC, we'll probably announce what the build is and what we're going to do with it. They're super pumped. I mean, literally looking past Michael right now and staring at it, and it excites me, and Michael's all excited. So yeah, we're stay tuned, please. So today we're assembling the engine. We're getting all the Dominator performance parts in. We've got a complete gasket kit and seal kit for the engine. We are building the engine today. Michael's outside at the moment painting all the engine parts up. I'm going to, basically, I'll touch base with you guys again shortly, but for now I'm just going to get the engine ready to assemble, painted and everything like that, and I'll touch base with you guys again. It'll most likely be when we start changing out the valve springs, etc. So stay tuned, enjoy the episode, and thanks again. Alrighty guys, just thought I'd check in with you and let you know where we're at. We got to the point now where we're going to start working on the head, but I just thought I'd let you know where we got to with the engine. The engine's had a coat of paint, looks nice and pretty. We put our piston back in after checking we had the thicker gas rods in the engine. The deck's all cleaned and ready to rock and roll. We've put our oil pump back on, we've got our oil pickup back on. Obviously we've got our head studs in. So basically it's ready to receive the head. So we're going to jump over the head now, do the valve springs and all that sort of stuff, and then we'll jump back to the engine. So we've got the head here. These are our Dominator Motorsport valve springs. We're about to replace all the springs in the head. I will show this to you guys. This is the Dominator Motorsport valve spring removal and replacement tool. You could use a universal valve spring tool. Guys, I would say if you sort of go into this point, I think it's about 170 bucks, 180 bucks for this tool. Definitely a worthy investment. You can do 4 valve springs at a time, and it is purely designed for the Barra head. So I'll give you a quick rundown. I will show you one spring and then I'll put you on time lapse. But basically it just sits across the bridges like so. You've got your 4 bolts that you feed down through the actual tool, with your cup sitting on top of the valve spring. Bolt pushes down on the cup, compresses the spring, take your wedges out. I will show you one, obviously, so you guys can see exactly how it works. Then I'll put you on time lapse. We'll go through, replace all the springs, and I'm actually going to do the valve stem seals as well. And I'll jump back to you once we're ready to put the head on the engine. Cool. Guys, we've got our main piece bolted down to our cam bridges. So basically now we've got this little tool that sits on top of the valve spring. You can see here it's got a recess, makes it nice and easy for you. Slip that over the valve spring, just like so, with your opening accessible so you can get your little wedges out. Go straight down with your bolt. As you can see right there, it's compressed the spring down and it's giving you access to your little wedges. So I'll try and just dislodge them a little bit. We've obviously got some valve float going on underneath. Like so. Get your little magnet. There she is there. Put that down on your bench. Grab your other one out. I like to keep things in order. I don't know how critical it is, but yeah, we will keep them in order. Drop your head back down. Back your bolt off like so. All the way up. Remove your little thing there. Obviously this one's got its valve spring cap stuck in it. There's your cap. Take your valve spring out. There you go. Valve spring out. Obviously to install, it's the reverse of that. Grab your new spring, slip it down, put your cap on, sit your little thing on top of the spring, push it down until the valve stem sticks through, etc, etc. Alrighty guys, I'm going to stick these on time lapse. I'm going to rip through this head. It will take me a little while because I am going to replace the valve stem seals. So I'll get this head all sorted. I'll jump back to you shortly and we will stick the head on the block and continue with engine assembly. Alrighty guys, we just thought we'd stop here. We're sort of powering through. It is Sunday night and getting quite late and there's work tomorrow and all the rest of it, but worry about that tomorrow, shall we? So at the moment we've got the head on, we've got the camshafts on. We just left that in time lapse. It's self-explanatory, like head studs and etc. or the internet, you can find out exactly how to bolt a head down and all that sort of stuff. It's actually not rocket science, believe it or not. You start in the middle and zigzag your way towards the end, you know, mid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and sort of zigzag your way to the end. Same with the camshafts. Follow your torque specs, it's quite straightforward. Then we went to the timing chain. I did want to show you the timing chain. Only reason being that I've watched a few YouTube videos and they're not all super clear and some guys get a little bit sort of sidetracked in the explanation. It's really simple. With your atomic timing chain, like I said, you do get instructions, but you just got to concentrate what you're doing when you pull it down and when you put it back together. So we've got our dots on our camshafts at the top. Obviously put them round about there when you screw the camshafts down. So that way you're not pushing valves against pistons or anything like that. So just keep an eye on that. You've now got your camshafts bolted in. It's literally that simple. The timing chain, much like the factory ones are a bit more clear, but this aftermarket timing chain does still have different coloured linkages to show you where to go. Now again, follow your dots at the top, and these actually sat in place without me even turning these. Again, just taking notice of what I'm doing. Down the bottom here, you've got a different coloured linkage here and one down the bottom. It is quite clear. This goes into on the locating here, and there's a mark on the pulley. But again, you've got your coloured links. On the bottom of that pulley, there's a mark, coloured link. And it also shows that you should be able to see half this link above this wheel on any instructions or as I'm showing you now. So different colour link at the bottom, matching up with the wheel here, and you see half the link above that wheel. That's it. It's literally that simple. Put your guides on, set your adjuster off, bang, timing done. It is literally that simple. Again, if you buy something like an atomic chain, or I'm assuming other brands, they do come with instructions. It's not, you just got to really, don't strip an engine down without knowing what you're doing. Do your research before you start pulling it apart. Don't strip an engine down and then think, okay, then I'll do my research. You wind up lost. And like I said, although YouTube and stuff like that is a good guide, some guys just, I'm not deliberately, and I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else or nothing of the sort. The explanation can just get a bit sidetracked. It is literally that simple. I had my camshafts lined up, my bottom, followed the marks, put my guides on, like that. Follow your torque specs. I mean, you've just put a head on, you've just bolted down camshafts, and put your timing chain and stuff together. That is basically the back broken of the engine build. Now you're just literally sticking parts on and doing them up with sealants and all the rest of it. So just thought we'll touch base there. Again, it is Sunday night, but I'm not going to bed until this engine's built. Alrighty guys, that's it for another episode of Garage Built. Believe it or not, it's 11:30 on a Sunday night. I have just finished putting the engine together. Everything's basically on now, it's just accessories that have got to be fitted. Everything went flawlessly, just takes time. Big shout out to Dominator Motorsports for hooking us up with all the parts and sponsoring our episodes and just general support. Once again, thanks to everyone for watching. Check out the Dominator description down below. Like, subscribe. Please send us some messages. Constructive criticism is always welcomed. Until the next episode. Cheers guys, stay happy.